Your number one wealth killer. Discover the stealthy assassin silently sabotaging your dreams, your number one wealth killer. It's not what you think. Join us in this eye-opening journey to unveil the mystery behind the culprit holding you back from the life you've always dreamed of. Buckle up as we expose the surprising truth about the financial impact of your number one wealth killer. Have you ever wondered about the secret wealth assassin that's been stealthily lurking in your financial shadows? We're talking about the number one wealth killer that might be silently sabotaging your dreams, and guess what? It's probably not what you think. You definitely don't want to miss this eye-opening journey when we uncover this sneaky culprit that could be holding you back from the life you've always dreamed of. Ready to take control and let the green reign? First off, let's talk about what most families spend their money on. You've got your usual suspects: housing, transportation, taxes, utilities, household stuff, and, of course, food. Now, if we figure out how to cut some costs in these areas, we're looking at some serious money-saving magic. Now, here's the big question. What's the ultimate money drainer? Quick hint, it's the cost that changes a lot from person to person. You've guessed it, it's transportation. Those wheels can really put a dent in your wealth, and you know why? Because society loves to link success with having a fancy car. A lot of people end up getting a car that's way fancier than their wallet can handle, just to show off. People throw compliments when they see a cool car. We all love seeing our buddies cruising in a slick ride, but the financial side of it, not so much. It's like this secret money thing right under our noses, and everyone's doing it without realizing the impact it has. In 2023, the price of used cars have gone up again. They increased by 2.5% in January compared to the previous month. Surprisingly, 15.7% of people who financed a new car in the last quarter of 2022 committed to paying more than $1,000 per month, which is the highest it's ever been. Adding to that, some cars that are in high demand still have crazy dealer markups. Take this Porsche, for example. It has a markup of $250,000, almost the same as the car's price itself. And you know what? The average cost to own and operate a car, according to AAA in 2022, is a whopping $10,728 per year. Let that sink in. That's a lot of money. But hey, before we continue, we want you to know that we're always making new content, so make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss anything. Now let's break down some of these car ownership expenses. We've got this 2018 Honda Civic here as an example. The true cost to own it over 5 years is $43,993, which is close to $8,800 a year. Now, it's pretty economical, not too flashy or expensive, and it's already 5 years old. But even with a car like this, it's still quite costly to own. Consider this: the average American salary is about $54,000 a year. Owning a used car like this would take 16% of your gross salary every single year. It becomes challenging to build wealth and save money if we're spending so much on our cars. I'm not saying having a Honda Civic is living beyond your means. It's actually quite reasonable. But it's essential to realize that car ownership could be costing you more than you think. The major spending here is depreciation. Simply put, almost all cars lose value over time because of wear and tear. Now, investing your money in a car might not be the smartest move. Why? Well, the moment you put your money into a car, its value starts going down. It's like putting money into something that's destined to lose its worth. If you're looking to save some cash in this area, my advice is to steer clear of buying a brand new car. You might have heard this before. The minute you drive a new car off the lot, it becomes a used car, and 10 to 15% of its value vanishes, thanks to depreciation. So in simple terms, buying new might not be the brightest idea if you want to hang on to your money. You see, cars lose value at different rates, but the sweet spot to grab a great deal is usually when it's been around for 3 to 5 years. Why? Well, that's when most of the value drop has already happened, but a car is still pretty much brand new enough to dodge major issues with upkeep. So if you're aiming to save big on avoiding the depreciation plunge, your best bet is to pick up a car that's been cruising the roads for about 3 to 4 years, maybe with 30 to 40,000 miles under its belt. That's the sweet spot. If you snag one of those, you're in for some serious savings on depreciation. Let's talk about another big thing: taxes. Now, fees, you can't really dodge them. Almost every car you get will come with yearly taxes and registration fees. If you're a family with a bunch of cars, one way to cut costs is by having fewer cars. It's not that simple, but picture this. Some families own 3 or 4 cars and there are only 2 or 3 people in the house. If you can drop one extra car you don't really need, that's cash saved in fees every single year. When it comes to getting money for things like buying a car, it's all about financing. Most people don't have a pile of cash to drop on a car, right? So what usually happens is you put down a smaller amount like $5,000 or $7,000 and then you borrow the rest with some extra money tagged on. That's the interest. Now here's the deal. These days, the interest fees can be pretty high because the interest rates are on the up and up. If you've got good credit, you might snag an interest rate between 6 and 6.5%. But if your credit is not so high, that interest rate is going to be even higher. If that's the case, it's recommended to think twice about trying to buy or finance a brand new car. Maybe consider something a bit used or older. It doesn't matter if you're into financing, leasing, or straight up owning a car. There are options out there, just gotta find what suits you best. People often forget fuel in their monthly budget. You might think my car payment is $500 to $600, but hold on, gas is another $200 every month. Check this out. For a Honda Civic over 5 years, you're looking at $12,807. That's about $25.61 extra per year, roughly $2 a month, assuming you drive 15,000 miles annually. It really piles up, doesn't it? Now, saving on gas isn't a piece of cake, but there are some tricks. Consider getting a Costco membership. Their gas is way cheap. You can save $5 to $8 every time you fill up. That's cash in your pocket. Another option is an electric car, but let's be real, they're pretty pricey right now. Maybe in 10 or 20 years, everything will be electric and super fuel efficient, but for now, we're stuck with traditional cars and spending on gas. So if you've got a car now, be ready to shell out for fuel for at least the next 5 years. And honestly, gas prices are not dropping anytime soon. They'll probably keep going up. If you own a Honda Civic, you might be paying around $6,949 for insurance over 5 years, or roughly an extra $115 each month. Now here's a smart tip about car insurance. Every year, mark a date in your calendar, and on that day, give your insurance company a call. Ask if there's a chance to get a better rate. If not, don't worry, you can shop around and check other insurance providers. The cool thing is that many of them offer similar coverage, and they all know having you as a long-term customer is valuable. So, imagine you have AAA insurance. You can use that policy and compare rates with State Farm, Progressive, Geico, and more. Just once a year, give them a ring and see if they can give you a better deal for the same coverage. Often, these companies try to outdo each other, and guess what? You end up saving a bunch of money in both the short and long term. Repairs and maintenance are like the last piece of this puzzle, and they can be a bit tricky to cut down on unless you're a car expert or you're up for learning a thing or two from YouTube. Imagine this, you could actually figure out some basic car stuff on your own just by watching some easy videos. Take changing your car's oil, for instance. It might sound kind of tough, but if you spend 20 minutes watching a tutorial on YouTube, like the one by Chris Fix, you could learn how to do it. So here's the deal. The first time you change your oil, you save some bucks on labor, right? But think about this. If you change your oil a bunch of times in your life, let's say 200 times for example, and you save around $100 every time, it adds up to $20,000. That's a lot of cash you could keep in your pocket instead of paying someone else to do it. Cars usually need an oil change every 3,000 miles. So if you drive 15,000 miles a year, that's like 5 oil changes annually. Now let's say you plan to drive until you're 75, starting at 30. That's 45 years or around 200 oil changes. Even if you miss a few because you know life happens, that's still a good chunk of money you could save. So it's up to you if you're into the idea of tinkering with your car a bit and saving some serious dough. Maybe spending 20 minutes on a YouTube tutorial could be well worth it. Imagine you're having car troubles, and instead of rushing to the dealership every time you check your engine lights blink, you can go to a place like AutoZone. They have this cool free tool that's like a detective for your car. It's called an OBD2 scanner. You plug it into your car and it tells you exactly what's up. So you head to AutoZone. They use the scanner in your car and they spill the beans on what's wrong. Now the best part is you don't have to be at the mercy of the dealership every single time. You can even get one of these scanners for yourself online. Imagine the power. You diagnose your issue and then you decide how you want to handle it. It's like being your car's detective and doctor rolled into one. Now imagine you don't need a car. Seriously, think about it. If you skip having a car, you could be into something big. Let's break it down. The average cost of owning a car is about $10,768 per year. Now pretend you pocket that money instead. What if you use it for something cool, like investing in yourself or diving into the stock market? Let's say you toss $10,000 into Microsoft stock. Check this out. Microsoft stock has been on fire for the past 5 years, almost tripling in value. So that $10,000 of yours could balloon to nearly $30,000. That's a sweet deal, right? But wait, there's more. Not having a car doesn't just save you $10,000 in ownership costs. It means that $10,000 can hustle for you elsewhere. Hey there, before we reveal another idea to save money, make sure you tap that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. This way, you won't miss out on our newest videos. You can decide if you want notifications for just a few videos or all of them. It's your choice. And if you're using your phone, don't forget to enable notifications in your settings. Here's another idea. Live closer to your workplace. Loads of people spend time commuting in their cars, wear and tear, fuel costs, you name it. What if you could live closer to where you work? Even if the rent is a bit higher, figure out if it's worth it for you. Living closer to work could cut down on your expenses on fuel, car wear and tear, maintenance, and all that jazz. It's not just about the dollars, it's about saving your precious time too. So skip the car, invest the cash, and consider getting cozy with your workplace. It might just be the game changer you didn't know you needed. Ready to revolutionize your wealth and put an end to your #1 wealth killer? What's your game plan? Are you considering making a strategic move and snagging a deal on a car that's 3 to 5 years old, hitting that sweet spot for savings on depreciation? Or are you intrigued by the idea of living car-free, investing that $10,000 a year into something that could triple in value like, say, Microsoft stock? Drop your choice in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on my latest content. And for more resources and links related to today's topics, be sure to check out the description below. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to reading your comments and engaging with you in the next video.